Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to a big one of the biggest ones. This is the ThunderTank review. That's right, I made the decision that I really had to have this, not just because I'm a huge fan of ThunderCats, which I love ThunderCats. I've been collecting Super 7's ThunderCats Ultimates, but because this is such a massive landmark in toy creation, manufacturing history, I wanted to have it. So rather than just coming out of pocket with it, I decided, okay, if I can sell off enough stuff to pay for the ThunderTank, I'll get a ThunderTank. Obviously I did, it worked out, and now here we are getting ready to open this massive gargantuan beast up. You'll notice right here there are corner protectors on this box. This was, I think, of vital importance to get the product to us as safely as possible. We'll see what the interior looks like how well Super 7 packaged it. Obviously the high water mark for this sort of thing is the sail barge that was immaculately shipped and packaged. The Razor Crest was also done very well, but it's not as big as the sail barge, so it wasn't quite as impressive a feat to get it safely to me. So we'll see how Super 7 did. And because of the enormity of this box, this package, an old friend is returning to the show to help us out. That's right, good old 1963 box cutter is back. I know you missed him. He's here. He's been having a very nice retirement, but we had to call him back into action to help out with this huge project. So these corner protection devices, I'm sure there's a term for these, and I don't know what it is. They have to be removed before you can actually open the product up because they are obviously covering where the flaps open. So we got to get these things off of here. Fortunately, Super 7 did not go insane with the tape. And the tape is just paper, paper packing tape, so it tears very easily. And there's not a ton of frustration involved with getting those things off of there. This ThunderTank is based on the apparent, like the rest, or most of the rest of the ThunderCats Ultimates line, is based on its appearance in the cartoon and not on the original ThunderTank toy, which I do not have and have never had. I had a very limited, I think I had Mumra, Lion-O, and Panthro of the original LJ and ThunderCats line, and that was it. I've talked before about how Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles were kind of like my main things through time. Well, Mego really was first, but those were my main things through time, and I didn't deviate very much. My parents were very generous with what they let me collect of one primary line, but then there were a few pieces here and there of other lines. Never had a ThunderTank, probably never will, because I don't need it at this point, right? Quite get that one, there we go. Thanks, 1963 box cutter, it was great seeing you again. Okay, so that is our exterior. Oh, look at this. So we have an interior carton with more corner protection. So Super 7 did a nice job making sure this thing was going to get here safely. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do is, I forgot to mention I've got Panthro here to help me out. I don't know what the heck a Samoflange is or what it looks like, so we've got Panthro. It's going to give us some tips on that sort of thing. I'm just going to totally tear this exterior carton up rather than trying to lift this thing out. So we'll do a little... No, I may have to do some lifting anyway. See, this is what makes these kinds of things fun, is finding out how this is going to work, how I'm going to get this thing out of the package. Isn't that a great time? Oh man, it's pretty heavy. This is a sizable item, so let's kind of sit that over there and hope. There we go. Oh, we'll bring this back up. This is the interior carton. Now, once we get into the ThunderTank itself, I'll do just like I did. If you didn't watch my review of the Sky Striker, the HasLab Sky Striker, I highly recommend you go back and watch it. Give it a like, subscribe while you're here. But it's going to be a similar process where we're going to take a look at kind of the big pieces of everything here, because I do like the unboxing portion, especially of something like this, because there's so much discovery involved. Wow. Okay. More corner protection, finer like foam corner protection. The process of revelation is very exciting, right? Like it's to me such a big part of toy collecting. And boy, here it is. All right, how am I going to work this? Let's do this. Here we go. Ta-da! That was probably the lamest ta-da you've ever heard, but there's a lot of effort going into getting this thing out of here while filming. If I wasn't filming this would not be as big a deal. Now here's the fun part, is now that I've got it out of the inner carton, getting the inner carton under the light, over the camera, across the room. Can I do it? Yes. Yes, I can. All right. The table is now covered in cardboard box scraps, but that's kind of unavoidable. I'm just going to slice right through this plastic. I'm not even going to bother trying to find like an opening on this, because why? Actually, so to go back to what I was saying about the ThunderTank, this one is based off of the cartoon design, and I'm sure it's got plenty of similarities with the original toy, and that's fine. But that was not, I don't believe, the primary goal of Super 7. Again, unlike their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line, which is very much intended to be ultimate versions of those original toys. So here we go. Let's see. Can I get this upright? There we go. Are the front and the back the same? Yes. So the front of the box and the back of the box are the same. Featuring a swiveling turret, working tank treads, opening cargo bay doors, 2 different windshields, Thundrillium storage, seating for 6 ThunderCats, front-mounted laser cannon, giant claws with hidden weapons, scaled to fit 7-inch Super 7 Ultimates figures. You've already seen on the top here the product shots. On the side, just gorgeous box. High quality cardboard. It has kind of a matte look to it, so it's not glossy. Ages 14 and up, adult collector. Man, this is just gorgeous. This artwork is incredible. I would really love it if they had included a poster of the artwork in there. Okay, let's see. So we've got 2 flaps there. Oh man, more very, very carefully packaged. So not only did we have all that, but inside this box, it is not, ooh, how am I going to get this out of here? I think I'm going to have to upend it. Let's see. And no, I have not, even though I got my ThunderTank disappointingly later than many, many people, because I ordered direct from Super 7, while Big Bad Toy Store got this in stock weeks ago. Although Brian Flynn has said that should stop happening. that beginning somewhat soon, Super 7 should be getting these items before other retailers. And I would love that. Well, no, actually I wouldn't love that because I specifically stopped ordering from Super 7 because Big Bad Toy Store tended to get the stuff. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go. Big Bad Toy Store was getting everything significantly earlier than Super 7 was, and that goes for all of the, you know, Ultimates, mostly the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates, but a number of items. All right, so we've got a few things packed outside of the styrofoam. Look at that gorgeous embossed. You know what? Let me, just so these don't go flying out onto the floor. We've got one of the windshields, and we've got the Thundrillium. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. And then on the front of the styrofoam, an embossed ThunderCats logo. Very classy, very cool. So big, giant styrofoam containers that when I was a kid I would have absolutely turned into headquarters of some kind for some action figure line. And let's get this tape out of the way so we can open this up finally. And take a look at the ThunderTank. So yeah, I got to the point where I was really tired of Big Bad getting Super 7 releases before Super 7 got them. So starting with the G.I. Joe Ultimates, which by the way, my G.I. Joe Ultimates Wave 1 that are in stock everywhere now, except for Super 7, who have notified me that they will not be shipping before March 13th. So Wave 1 and Wave 2 of the G.I. Joe Ultimates I'm potentially still going to get later. But starting with G.I. Joe Ultimates Wave 3 and Ninja Turtle Ultimates Wave 8, maybe? I ordered everything from Big Bad. Because I was just... that is some production stench right there. That just hit me like a slap in the face. Gross. That is the most pungent. Oh my gosh! All right, I thought I got through all this tape. That's the most pungent new toy smell I have ever experienced in my life. Oh man. So look at that. Okay, so yes, there it is. But how cool of a base is this? I would draw little computers in here. This is perfect for Joe's. Love it. All right, please don't knock the camera over. Didn't knock it over. Got a little bump. All right, I think maybe we want to pick the bag up. And then this, maybe not so much a headquarters, but definitely an arena of sport. Look at that. All right. I wish I had the time and the energy to devote to some toy photography. Okay, this bag I'm going to try and open properly. Maybe. I'll do a little cut through the tape though. Oh, these treads. This is crazy. Wait. Ooh. I think the smell might be the treads. Holy cow. Smells like burning electronics. So are the treads like... it moves, but the treads don't seem to want to move particularly well. The rollers roll. Oh, can you hear that? There's a mechanism at work there. All right, I don't want to lift this up quite yet because I want to be sure we're getting a look at everything. I want to know what's going to fold open and move when I lift this thing to try and mess with the treads. So there's our interior cabin. I guess really maybe this is the point where I need to change my camera angle because you guys can see the size of this thing. You got the unboxing process. To get into all of the details, I think I need to go to the different camera angle here. But yeah, the treads don't want to move, and I don't know if that's because I've got a table cover on here. I don't know if that's the surface we're on. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to do it. Okay, so you've got wheels up here. Ignore this. This is just stuff from the unboxing. So wheels here, here, that kind of keep it moving on its own, and then the treads, which I cannot get off of a surface to try and get them. Maybe, so you can see and you can hear probably. They do move, and they might need a little more to grip than this table covering is providing. And I think you kind of have to loosen them up a little bit too. All right, so that is the bottom. That is the top. And now we are going to change up that angle and get into the ThunderTank. Something I neglected to mention that I meant to. This is carton 629 of 2437. So does that mean that there are only 2,437 ThunderTanks in the world? I'm not sure. Okay, so now you get the good look inside the compartment, and I'll do some close-ups in addition to this, or actually I guess after this. It's just easier to do that way. But you can see, I think this whole piece comes out if I'm remembering correctly. I'm not going to lie, some instructions would have been nice. Okay, so that is around that. So yeah, obviously the cannon comes up. There we go. Okay. So you've got that piece to keep it during shipping safe. Oh man, this detail is fantastic. But I'll get into that when I'm go into my handheld. So got foot pegs. This is where Panthro is going to come in handy. So just to give you a sense of the scale here. And the seats are engineered for the, I guess, sort of half sitting. So they can fit in there with the cannon. Interesting. So the Ultimates are not really designed for full sitting positions. So how these seats they've got not deep seated sections, so the figures kind of sit like that. Pretty clever way to do it. So you can see all your ThunderCats can sit in this compartment. I'm almost positive this part is removable, but it doesn't seem to be, does it? I'll have to mess with that some more. Oh, I wonder if it's underneath. Well, anyway, so the cannon pops up, and Panthro, it's got a couple of foot pegs, and you're going to have to angle him kind of. Let's see. Okay, so the peg holes are in his heels. And boy, that's a little snug, isn't it? All right. It's going to take a little effort to get him holding this just right. I do appreciate that those handles turn. Oh, wait, actually, that makes it a little better. I don't know if that's how they work. Like, off the top of my head, I'm not sure if that's how they work in the cartoon or not, if they go off to the side, but the handles do rotate. And then we can kind of, I'm just going to sort of fake out getting his heels in place, because this is not the most captivating viewing, I understand. There we go. All right, so that's kind of what you get. He could be posed a little bit better, but there you go. Using the cannon with the rotating handles. Oh, rotating and removable. What is these couple little surprise extra guns. I'm sure it's intentional that they're removable, but I don't know if that's like a specific feature or something, but they plug right back into place there. That's kind of cool, actually. So yeah, then those rotate back down. They can, however you want the figures to hold them, they can hold them that way. We'll get into all of the detail inside here when I go to handheld. So then we have the front portion with a laser cannon that extends out. Again, we'll look closer at that in a minute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the armored windshield piece. And then we also have the translucent windshield that is beautiful, clear, translucent plastic. Feels nice and sturdy. And then just actually has pegs right into place. Looks great. Looks fantastic. Oh man, that's awesome. I think this is the one I'm gonna have to use. Really nice. And then if you'll notice, these, oh no, these are different. Okay. Interesting that the driver has two control levers, and then just the one for the passenger. You've got, I kind of wish this rotated, but also, who cares? And then just like, it's going to take a little, well, not too much. You can get that right on there. That ready to go. That's pretty awesome. Oh, man. This is incredible. What a gigantic, incredible toy. And again, we'll get into the detail, but everything is painted. These are not stickers. These are all Tampo. You can see, let's see, what else have we got here? That you can't really, oh man, that is satisfying. Okay, hang on. Listen. Solid ratcheting joint for the claws, which, if you can see, Now, do these extend or they... No, those are just where they are. And again, we'll get a better look at these. So yeah, there are your front wheels, front rollers with the cannons. So they go back down. Your claws are up in firing mode. Full assault. Oh wait, here we go. With this cannon extended out. Full assault mode from the top. This is beautiful. The plastic is very, very solid, durable. Like even these pieces. Wait, I better put the cannon back down before I try to close that. Oh man, that's really... I would love to see what that mechanism is. That's very satisfying. You can see these are sort of beveled to sit flush with this part. Beautiful ThunderCats logo. I love the matte painting on this. I love that this is not shiny. This matte plastic looks fantastic. So I think... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. You're not going to be able to see that super well from up here, but that is that articulated sort of jaw piece. And again, a nice ratcheting joint there. Feels great. This is very satisfying to mess with. Everything is very firm and secure and is fun to move around. Okay. So I think it's time to get some close-ups on this before we, well, I guess to wrap it up. All right. Man, what a beautiful toy. Heavy. Like, wait, oh, that's what I was, there we go. Very, very heavy. Okay, so now we're in handheld mode where we can really get into these details. You can see in the cockpit, just gorgeous artwork, gorgeous sculpting, everything. The definition of the sculpt is wonderful. All tampo paint, whatever you want to call it. The detail on those seats, they have the look of like seats with cushions. I would have liked for this to be articulated. I would have liked for this to be articulated. I will make those complaints. And then the front here, now you guys can finally get a better look at the cannon. Try to ignore all the junk in the background there. Things yet to be reviewed and that have not been put away quite yet. So there's your cannon that pops open. And then this is the articulated jaw that opens up with, look at that great detail inside there. These are sculpted. These fangs on the bottom, just fantastic. And then this is where, I guess you would need to, if you want that to have the proper effect, you got to kind of hold that down. But I appreciate that this part is articulated as well. It just, I don't know, it gives it one more kind of feature of something to mess with. So you've got your cannons in there. And if you notice the painted detail in the sort of, they're not joints, but just the way the armor plating is designed. And then this side, I mean, same thing, but this side opens up as well. Apologize for the lighting here. This is yet again a massive review, kind of different from anything else I've done. So I'm sort of figuring it out here. I wonder, can I turn a light on this in mid? Probably not. So here's what I think I need to do. I take down my light, and that way you can get a good look. How's this going to work? If you guys had any idea what I have going on right now, you would laugh. I have a giant work light clipped to the bill of my hat right now. All right. So these roll, you can't see it right now because the tread is kind of stuck on this surface. I'll do a better rolling test later. But this rolls, let's see. Yeah, I just can't get those treads to roll on this fabric. We'll take a look at that again in a minute. But you can see all of the just wonderful detail. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm going to take that light off of my hat. Put it back directly above now we can see in here just how much play value. Like, imagine as a kid having all of this detail, all of your, and let's go ahead and take a look. So Panthro and your ThunderCats can stand up in that cabin. That's how deep this is. Let's do a little side by side. So here's Panthro next to the ThunderTank. That's how gigantic this thing is. And this, like, when you think about when you were a kid, how you wanted your figures to interact with vehicles and stuff, like, you couldn't, in general, have them just sort of standing around doing things. But Panthro can get in here and interact with all of this stuff on the wall, all of these computers. It's just really incredible. Let's see if we can get all the way around here. Oh yeah, and there's the detail on the cannon. You can see how those rotate up. And then the cannon, like I said, I would love to see the mechanism, because that raises up. And then you get, your rotation works very nicely. It doesn't stick at all. It's great. The hinge is very well done. It's secure but easy to move. It doesn't fight you. I love the paw shape of this thing. And then the barrels are actually hollow, which is nice. Because that always bugged me too when something was supposed to be like a rifle or whatever and had a filled in barrel. Let's put that back down so we can maybe get a little better angle at all of this stuff. You can just tell the designers had so much fun. Look, this is the first visible screw I've found in this thing. Pretty impressive, and they've put it in like the lowest profile place they possibly could. Otherwise, no like visible machining at first glance anyway at what we've been looking at. So that's the interior. Let's take a look at the back here. Pretty basic, but looks great. You've got, sorry, a lot of moving around on this one because this thing is so massive. Nice sculpted grills. Just everything very well defined, gorgeous sculpting. Even the treads, you can see the tank treads, all just sculpted. Nice, thick, pliable rubber, as you would expect tank treads to be. This is a centerpiece of any collection. I can't say it's a must-have because obviously the price tag was prohibitive. Certainly on the secondary market will be now. But I mean, this is one to get them talking. This is a conversation piece. This is a centerpiece. Mine is going right there. Obviously, I've got to move those pictures out of the way. But then there are the Thunder. I don't usually do a walk around too terribly much, but I thought it was kind of worth it for this one. So there's the ThunderCats. There are some more Ultimates. There are some other items, but yeah, not the most spectacular place in the toy room, but for something this large, what are you going to do? So that's it. That's the tour of the ThunderTank. I'll be back in a second with maybe some more thoughts, or we'll try and get it rolling. And here we've got our little box of goodies. That's right, it's camouflage time. Obviously a critical tool for any sort of ThunderTank maintenance you might need. Great sculpt. I love the metallic look of the top portion. The paint looks fantastic. Really nice, and will fit. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I shouldn't be doing this part. There we go. Fits right into Panthro's hand there. And then we've got our bin of Thundrillium. Really nice, sharp sculpting on the bin itself. Thundrillium looks great. It's all just solid chunk there. And that's supposed to be able to fit back here, right? Does it just kind of sit in there? I really thought this whole piece came out, but that might have just been Brian Flynn messing with the pre-production version of it. And I wonder, it just now occurred to me, if the chairs... No, it looks... I don't want to pull on anything too hard. I was wondering if maybe the chairs came out. It would be kind of cool if you could empty out that cargo bay, but at the same time, it's not something that I need, just because, like I said, you know, I'm not going to be taking this off the shelf and rolling it around on the floor a whole heck of a lot. But it would be kind of cool if there's a little better interaction with this bin. And you know what? Maybe there is. Maybe there's something I missed. It's entirely possible. Tell me in the comments if there is. And again, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about needless things, and camouflage ho! Okay, so I took the table cover off because while it gives a nice classy effect, it provides a surface that maybe those treads couldn't grip on particularly well. But what I have discovered, the treads, they do not move. I mean, they do. You can see I moved them before. Well, we'll do it again here. Let's up in. Oh, sorry, Panthro. He's still in there. Oh, but this isn't going to work because the back is still on there too. I can't really do a lift and film at the same time. But they just don't. They're articulated. They do roll, as you can see, and all of the rollers roll. Like these are all actually rollers that move, but just, I don't know if this is too slick, if there's not enough tension on this, which would be a problem with the construction of this toy. If there was, it would be very difficult to get enough tension on this design at this size. But while these do roll, they do not like roll as it moves. It just doesn't work that way. Whether it should or not, I mean, personally, I don't know. It would be cool if it did. I don't care that much, because how often am I going to put this thing on the floor and drive it around? Not very. I've got remote control things that I don't do that with. So you know, it's cool that they designed it that way. If this was all just like one piece without any movement, that would be very disappointing. But, you know, as is, you're not going to be driving your ThunderTank around. But that's okay, because otherwise, it is a glorious piece of toy engineering, worth, in my personal opinion, because of the achievement, because of its uniqueness. Sorry, Panthro. Just absolutely worth it to have. It is a landmark. To me, it is a landmark of toy history. This is the kind of thing that every time you walk in the room, you're going to look at your ThunderTank and you're going to be like, yes, that was the correct decision. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. More reviews coming all the time. Go back and watch that Sky Striker review. I need to figure out what to do with that box. If you haven't, and as always, remember, ThunderCats, ho! Okay, I promise I'm not trying to make the review that never ends, but as I was kind of packing everything up and getting this ready to put in its permanent display place, a couple little things I saw that I really kind of had to point out here. So on the front portion, I have to say that this is a little ugly. It's a toy. It's not driving me crazy, but just the way that they've done this hinge and the space that's here when you've got the armored cockpit portion on, honestly just doesn't look awesome. It's not terrible. It's not great. And then when there's a nice little front view of that I don't think I got to before. We saw that. And then also you've got these weird sort of openings here that I feel like this should probably extend up to here, because it's not really as noticeable on the armored portion, but we'll take a look in a second when we get to the translucent one. So let's take this off. And this is how the ThunderTank was most frequently seen in the cartoon, just convertible style. And I gotta tell you, this portion, I don't love it. I like that they covered up the screws with these little plugs, but these little plugs are noticeable. The holes where the canopies or windshields plug in are definitely something of an eyesore. Like this is sort of the default ThunderTank look. And I really feel like there should have been a piece to sit on top of this when you don't have one of the windshields on, because just this and this, it just doesn't look great. Again, it's a toy. I dig it, but there really should have been another piece that was maybe just this portion of that to cover up just these. This doesn't look finished to me. It doesn't look like, oh, this is what this should look like on the shelf. And I'm not trying to be nitpicky. I'm not trying to look for flaws and say, oh, I realized I should say something negative, because I think you guys know I don't do that. But man, this really is gorgeous. I love this translucent. But same thing on this one, and this is where it's a little more noticeable to me, is this hole here, the space between the body and the windshield, where, you know, the whole point of this translucent one is that they were able to go underwater. We're not going underwater with that big hole there. So I would be interested to see what the thought process was on not connecting right here, on leaving this open. Because it really does seem like those windshield pieces should go all the way up and connect right here. If you go back and look at the cartoon, which I'll try and remember to include a link to a video that really illustrates what I'm talking about. It's Panthro's modifications to the ThunderTank, and it's a great little clip that kind of shows it from a few different angles and shows you what I'm talking about with this. It really does seem like this should go all the way up to here. And again, this thing is awesome. I am very happy with it. It's great, but this does feel, this portion, well, the interactivity of the windshields and this portion honestly just feels a little unfinished to me. Oh, and to answer a question I had myself after watching that little reference video that I just did, yes, the flaps can just sit like that as they often were portrayed in the show. So that's that. Yes, those hinges are tight enough that they will hold that position. So there you go. Who knows how many more of these little additions I'm going to have. This is a big toy. There's a lot to take in, and I want to be as honest about it as I possibly can. So there you go.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.